How can you avoid TPMS sensor damage when mounting and balancing tires? The first step to installing tires is not taking the wheels off the vehicle. It is inspecting the TPMS sensor. It starts when you pull into the bay and look at the dashboard for the TPMS light. Next, use your TPMS tool to verify that the sensors are transmitting when prompted. This prevents the customer from saying that you damaged their TPMS system. But it is also a way to capture the sensor IDs if you need to program a new sensor for the vehicle. Now that this is completed, we can start breaking down the wheel and tire assemblies. In the early days of TPMS, when every application used a clamp-on sensor with the nut, many technicians would remove the nut and let the sensor fall into the center of the tire before dismounting the tire. The logic behind dropping the sensor was sound, but the sensor was often lost when the tire was dismounted or damaged by the shovel or even the lever. However, with today's snap-in valve stems, dropping the sensor is not feasible. How do you avoid damage to the TPMS sensor when mounting and dismounting a tire? This is where bead and tool management skills come into play. Knowing the sensor's location relative to the bead and tools at all times can help you prevent damage to a sensor. Let's break down this wheel and tire assembly and replace the TPMS sensor. First, remove the valve stem core to allow the air to escape from the tire. Using the shovel on the side, we can unseat the bead. We are going to start 180 degrees out from the valve stem. When you reach the sensor, use the shovel to dig about 6 inches on either side of the sensor. Pay attention to the bead, sensor, and drop center. Once the wheel assembly is secure on the turntable and the duck head is adjusted, look for the valve stem and sensor. The sensor should be anywhere between 4 and 6 o'clock on the turntable. Now you can insert your tire iron and pull the bead over the duck head. This is where a modern tire machine comes into its own. This ram attached to the left tower can be used to hold the bead in the drop center. Now watch this. Using this method can save you from damaging a TPMS sensor during dismounting. The same methodology for managing the bead and drop center can also be used to minimize potential damage to the sensor. Another tip to prevent possible misunderstanding with the customer is to perform a test before you touch inspection of the sensors. This Tire Industry Association method helps you to spot a TPMS issue before you remove the wheel from the vehicle and the tires from the rim. Assessing the condition of the TPMS system before installing new tires can help you identify additional sales opportunities as well as prevent the dreaded comeback due to a light coming on as the customer leaves the shop. The key takeaway here is to be aware of the sensor's location in relationship to the bead and tools. Also, modern tire changers are engineered for today's larger wheel assemblies and TPMS sensors. I'm Andrew Markell, coming to you from the BEMPAC EV Garage Studio at Babcox Media. Thanks for watching.